And I have also some other certifications like the Terraform and others which we will be talking about today. Dmitro?
Hi everyone, my name is Dmitro. I'm currently working as a DevOps engineer at Automat-it too. I'm fully AWS certified and a Kubestronaut, and today I'm excited to share my journey and tips with you. Thanks.
Yeah, by the way, recording will be available on YouTube after this webinar, maybe tomorrow. I just forgot a little bit to start recording just in time. So once again, our discussion today will be about different certification. First of all, we focus on AWS, but we will talk also about other different popular certification. And before we start, let's maybe look at results of our interactive polls. Okay, interesting. A lot of AWS certified people are here today, but we also have representatives of other cloud like Azure, Google Cloud. We have some networking guys today with Cisco certifications. As we see, Cloud Native Computing Foundation, Kubernetes certification, and Hashicorp are also quite popular. GitHub, pretty new certification. We will also talk about it today, later. And Linux certifications as well, and Oracle. Great. And your attitude about certification, because opinions are different. Certifications are not for all people for sure. But as you see, majority, almost 70% of attendees like and pass certifications. Okay, let's come back to our presentation. And a little bit about our company. We are Automat-it, a premier tier partner of AWS. We already have more than 1,000 successful launches for our customers. We mostly focus on startups today. Currently, we have 5 AWS competencies. It's DevOps, security, migrations, cloud operations, and GenAI. And we also closed 7 partner programs. We have a lot of well-architected reviews nowadays. We also focused on EKS and Kubernetes workloads. We provide some trainings, immersion days. And as you see, we currently have 400 AWS certifications for our company. And it's for less than 200 employees. And our agenda for today, first of all, we will talk about AWS certifications and other public activities and achievements. Then about Hashicorp, then GitOps and ArgoCD, Kubernetes and Kubestronaut program. Then a little bit about other full certifications from Cloud Native Computing Foundation, about GitHub, Then we will talk a little bit about comparing GCP with AWS and about very rare and special certification, Google Cloud Certified Fellow. And the last one will be Software Engineering Institute certification. That is also pretty rare and complicated thing. So Vitaly will share information about it. So AWS. Currently, AWS provides 12 different certifications and 4 levels. The first one, foundational, it contains just 2 certifications. Associate, the next level in complexity, it's associate, currently have 5 certifications. Then professional and specialty, almost similar by complexity, but focused on a bit different things. So we have 2 professional and 3 specialty exams. And let's start just briefly about foundational level. We will not be talking about every particular certification in details because I guess it requires some additional session about every certification provider. Just basic things, foundational level certification doesn't require any prior experience. So it's good for everyone, and AWS actually recommend it for non-technical people, maybe from sales, from business analytics, from project management, just to understand cloud in general and advantages, disadvantages. Exam duration is 90 minutes, but for all AWS exams, you can get 30 minutes more if you are not native English speaker. So you apply additional form for this, and AWS provides it. Exam format, it is 65 questions, just theoretical questions where you must choose 1 or more answers. And only 50 questions from this set actually counts. And 15 other questions are used for test. Like AWS creates new questions and adds them as test questions in real exams just to see how clear these questions are for candidates. But you will never know which questions are real, which not. So just think about 65 questions. And cost of foundational level exam is $100. But you can find discounts and vouchers. The most popular voucher is 50% discount. It's provided for every person who passed at least 1 exam successfully. And after every successful exam, you get the next voucher for 50%. You can also attend different learning activities from AWS or partners and get other vouchers and pass these exams. And this is example of certified cloud practitioner exam. We are not talking about sense and content of the question. My idea just to show you level and size of the question in this level. So it is just, usually it is just 1 sentence, and cloud practitioner covers just general high-level understanding of AWS cloud, advantages, disadvantages, how you pay for the cloud, basic principles of security, scaling, etc. And these particular questions just ask if you know what the Amazon S3 is. Another foundational level exam, certified AI practitioner. Also foundational level, but it tests general knowledge about artificial intelligence and machine learning. For a person who doesn't know anything about ML and AI, it can be even challenging, I guess. But if you are interested in these fields, it's a great idea to start from this exam. The next associate level, we have 5 exams, and there are no any official prerequisites, but AWS recommend you to have some experience in IT or cloud. Exam duration is 130 minutes, but again, you can get 30 minutes more if you are not English language native speaker. It's again 65 questions, theoretical. Cost is $150. And again, you can apply vouchers and discounts. And a little bit about what this exam about. So solution architect associate, in my opinion, it's the most general thing, the most general exam about many different AWS services, but not so deep. So in my opinion, it's a good starting point if you already work in IT and you have general understanding what is going on actually. And this exam also focused on design patterns in general, how to design solutions cost effective, secure, and performance optimized. Developer associate. Here we go closer to the DevOps because this exam is focused on knowledge how to deploy, how to package your applications, some basics of CI/CD workflows, and some troubleshooting topics. SysOps administrator is like the second half of the DevOps way, together with developer exam. But SysOps administrator, I guess, the most difficult comparing with developer and solution architect. And it is focused on monitoring, troubleshooting, networking, security, building auto-scaled infrastructure. And by the way, SysOps administrator is the one that we in our company recommend pathing for new engineers who join us. Then data engineer, good starting point for AI and ML specialist because data analytics and data preparation is pretty important part of machine learning. And this exam is focused on ETL and different orchestrations, data pipelines. And machine learning engineer associate is more about training and deploying models. Here you will have many questions about AWS SageMaker. It is main machine learning service in AWS. And questions about artificial intelligence as well, about Bedrock. And this is example of the question. So as we see, it's bigger than foundational level. So here we have several sentences in the question part and several sentences in each of answers. Professional level, it is really challenging thing. Again, non-official prerequisites from AWS, but they strongly recommend having at least 2 years of experience with AWS. And my personal advice, don't start from this exam. It would be stressful for you. Better start with associate or foundational and just go step by step towards professional level exams. Exam is 3 hours, 75 questions, really big questions. I will show you on the next slides. Cost is $300, but again, you can get 50% discount for previously successfully passed exams. And DevOps engineers, a DevOps engineer exam, it extends your previously passed developer and SysOps administrator associate exams, because it's actually logical continuation of that exams. And here, exam is focused on CI/CD processes, a lot about security, about automations. And the next is Solution Architect Professional exam, maybe one of the most difficult AWS exams, maybe for someone the most difficult one. Again, very big questions, scenario-based, a lot about multi-account environment, hybrid infrastructures, migration to AWS cloud. And this is one example of one questions. You see the size, and you will have 75 such questions during the exam. Even if you know all technical aspects, it's better to train to read carefully and quickly exams, because even 1 or 2 words in the question or in the answer can actually worse correctness. And the last specialty level, pretty interesting things, recommended 2+ years of experience in relevant specialty domain. Exam duration is 170 minutes, 65 questions, only theory, cost $300. As you see, AWS also had 5 other specialty exams, but unfortunately they already deprecated. Honestly, I don't understand why they deprecated database specialty, because they didn't substitute it by other exam. But we have what we have. Currently, only 3 specialty exams are active. And security. Security exam is focused on encryption, data classification, different protection mechanisms, security, monitoring, automation in your AWS. This is super important exam, because you will actually have security topics in all other exams. So security is everywhere. Advanced networking, quite interesting exam. mostly focused on hybrid infrastructure. It's connecting your on-premise with cloud. It's about a lot of questions about direct connect, site-to-site VPN, hybrid DNS solutions, and machine learning specialty. Pretty interesting exam, but surprise, there are not so many questions about AWS services here, but you will see a lot of questions about machine learning in general, about different algorithms. Personally, for me, it's the most difficult exam from all, just because I didn't have a real experience in math, in algorithms. And this is example of specialty level exam. As we see, it's a bit smaller than professional level, but it's still pretty interesting scenario-based questions. And personally, for me, I guess it's pretty helpful in real life, in real work, passing all such exams like professional and specialty level, because you see a lot of different scenarios, and in life you often have similar questions from your customers. A customer just goes and explains situation, and you need to propose some solution to find different ways to compare them. Maybe some solution will be more cost effective, another more operationally efficient. The third one is the fastest way to resolve the issue. So it's pretty valuable and useful. And you may have a question, which certifications to pass, and should I pass all of them or just some specific? And AWS already have information for you. It's called AWS certification path. Currently, we have 16 different paths focused on different areas like architecture, data, operations, DevOps, security, AI, ML, and for every certification path, you have a recommendation where to start and what to pass. And from that certification path, I created this AWS exam popularity top, just how many times a particular certification is faced in certification path. So as we see, cloud practitioner is everywhere in all certification paths, but mentions that it is optional if you already have experience in IT and cloud. The next one is DevOps engineer professional. I agree with it. In our company, this is the second certification after the SysOps administrator associate that we highly recommend passing our engineers. AI practitioner is pretty popular nowadays because AI and ML are on hype. Then solution architect associate, like the most general things about everything, just a little bit about everything. Good choice. And then security, as I mentioned, security questions will be faced in all other exams. Then machine learning, SysOps, developer, solution architect professional, pretty rare, but pretty important. By the way, this certification, Solution Architect Professional, is required for people who are going to conduct well-architected review. Advanced networking, data engineer, associate, and machine learning specialty. By the way, guys, maybe you will share your thoughts about what is the most popular exam, what you like the most. And I will check our interactive poll about it. Okay. So our audience has a bit different opinion about popularity. Solution Architect Associate is the top. Yeah, as I said, it's a good choice for the start. Then SysOps and DevOps. DevOps is first. And new associate level exams that just released this year, data engineer associate and machine learning associate are somewhere on the bottom.
Despite that, AI practitioner is more popular than advanced networking, I guess due to the complication of the latter one.
Maybe. Okay, let's continue this presentation. So how do AWS certification help? Really help, because it's a pretty controversial thing. There are people who don't understand why actually certifications are needed. By the way, please share your thoughts about it while we are talking. So there are requirements. If your company is AWS partner of any level, select, advanced, premier, you must have some particular number of certifications in your company. Certifications are required for different AWS competencies. Like logically, if you are closing machine learning competency, you must have machine learning specialty certifications in your company. The same for security, for DevOps, etc. If your company is passing AWS Managed Service Provider program, the same as competency. Service delivery and service ready programs, the same. AWS well-architected review, I already mentioned. AWS Solution Architect Professional is a must. AWS Ambassador Program. There are requirements to have a couple of active certifications. We will talk about it a little bit later. AWS Subject Matter Expert. Again, I will show you a separate slide about it. AWS Black Belt, pretty interesting program. Unfortunately, it's retired. I passed Black Belt containers program in the past, and they required either DevOps professional, AWS DevOps professional, or certified Kubernetes administrator certification just for starting participation. Sometimes AWS certifications required for government or enterprise projects. And if you are planning to become AWS employee, they also require certifications for their professional services consultants, technical account managers, and solution architects. Yeah, but it's subjective and individual. So maybe let's discuss. Guys, please share your experience, how certifications helped you in your way.
I will start, and I can definitely say that it's a good opportunity to learn something new, obviously, but you've mentioned that it's an optional cloud practitioner, but I can say that it's still a must, just because you have a possibility to learn about some new services, for example, because new versions of the exam are published, and just because of that, you will be able, for example, let's say, if you don't have a lot of time to catch all these new changes that AWS releases, for example, for this reinvent some new services, let's say, there is still a chance they will be introduced in the cloud practitioner exam. And from my experience, I remember there were some services that I learned about their existence just because I passed cloud practitioner.
Okay, we also have responses from our audience. Helped me to do a better job. By the way, it's the same for me. When I passed my first AWS certification, I found new job and just doubled my salary. To organize knowledge, yeah, I agree with this, because you can learn and read AWS documentation indefinitely. But where is this final point that you can understand that, okay, I'm good enough to do something, or I don't know. It definitely adds some self-confidence. More offers from companies, yeah, for sure, especially nowadays. Yeah, improve self-confidence. Yeah. Yeah, it helped narrowing the amount of services you need to focus on learning, for sure, because AWS have hundreds of services, and if you just start where to go, actually, what to learn, it's pretty difficult question, and certifications help with it. Improve my project resources usage, price, security, CI/CD process. Yeah, also a good point. We see many customers, as we work with startups, we see many customers who just started doing something in AWS. They built some infrastructure, launched application, but they don't understand if everything is done correctly according to best practices. And if at this point you start learning some certification, you will notice that this and that maybe is not good enough in your infrastructure, and you can improve it. So, yeah. Okay, and one more pretty important question: how to prepare? We in our company tried many different courses, but this guy for us is top, Stefan Marek and Udemy. We use his courses for years, so it's just great. Regarding prices, don't look at this one like $100 per course, because Udemy often has big discounts, and usually you can buy a course for $15. So just if you are interested, just monitor prices, and they have discounts every month. The second one, Tutorials Dojo, practice tests. For me, it's great. I like how these guys create questions. Like I see creativity, and I see great approach how they do it. And by the way, practice tests are very important in preparation. They help you to identify gaps. They help you to train this quick and careful reading of questions. That is pretty important. And other platforms, Cloud Guru is also good platform with many different certifications, courses, not only AWS. They have courses about different clouds, different technologies. BrainCert and with labs, platforms with practice tests. We also use them in our company. And AWS official resources. Skill Builder. There are free courses, and you can also buy subscription. And AWS Workshop, it is free one where you can get good practice, good hands-on. For example, I used it a lot when prepared for machine learning exam, because I didn't have real machine learning experience, so where to get it? AWS Workshop is great choice. And AWS also provides other badges. It is not certification, but it is good enough. I like these badges and courses. They are free on AWS Code Builder. And I didn't pass all of them, but I remember I learned serverless. It's great thing. A lot about Lambda, just everything about Lambda service, and you will not find so deep course, so deep coverage of this topic in any AWS certification. As the same is for storage, for example, about object storage, file storage, very deep, very detailed, and it's free.
They should give a purple jacket to anyone who is able to complete all of them.
Yeah, maybe. And there is one more learning activity called Cloud Quest. I personally didn't try it, but we have Dmitro and Artem with us who tried it and can share opinions about it.
Yeah, at the start of my career with AWS, I earned the cloud practitioner badge of cloud practitioner, and it was a good learning experience. AWS Cloud Quest is a fun game where you solve challenges and build things to learn about cloud computing, like solving real life puzzles for the cloud, such as create EC2 instance, deploy Lambda function, create DynamoDB talent, and so on. But to access the challenges beyond the cloud practitioner level, yeah, you need to an AWS skill builder subscription. Yeah, Artem, maybe you something to add.
Yeah, I agree that that could be a fun way to learn if you're just beginning your cloud journey. And also add that currently, until the end of July of 2025, if you have recently passed the Cloud Practitioner certification, you can recertify it for free by doing this Cloud Practitioner Cloud Quest. So definitely a good program for new people.
Yeah, and briefly about different public activities. Subject matter expert is super cool thing. I'm currently working on it. It's about creating new exams, helping AWS to create new exams. I'm currently working on associate level exam. And from requirement, how to apply, actually, you must have the appropriate certificate, obviously. For example, if you are working on SysOps administrator exam, you must have it. Then you share your CV or LinkedIn profile with Amazon and they evaluate you, because just having a certification is not enough. They should make sure that you have appropriate real life experience, and I will explain what for. Language skill is the must, because you will have a lot of communication with them. And you should, if you want to receive such badge, you should actively participate in 2 or 3 development events. For foundational and associate level, it's 3 events. For professional and specialty, it's 2 events. And how it looks like. The first event, like about 15 or 20 people from different companies, different fields join the call with AWS. It's people who already applied and were accepted to this program. So we join meeting, actually several meetings during 1 week, and discuss who will be the target candidate for a particular exam, which real situation we see at our work. And for AWS, it's very important to get our personal opinion about these things. And then all opinions are collected together, processed, and we have a new exam guide with target candidate description about different domains. Like in every exam, we have 4, 5, 6 domains with some percentage of questions existing in this exam. And actually here we decide which domain is more important than another and get this percentage. The next round of such activity is actually writing questions. It's very challenging and interesting because a lot of people review questions and you have a lot of comments that you should fix but it's really cool to communicate with experts from different countries, different companies. At this point, everyone should write some number of questions. For me, it was seven fully ready questions, which are reviewed by AWS first of all. Then you fix whatever is needed to be fixed, and then questions are go to the third round. Third round is group review, where all subject matter experts join the call and review all questions together, where they agree, where they don't agree, about correct answer, incorrect answers, which are destructors. You should also prove everything with links of documentation. So it's very interesting activity. I recommend you to participate if AWS proposes. Black Belt, pretty cool program. Unfortunately retired. I participated in it a couple of years ago in containers Black Belt. So in this program, we attended several workshops from AWS. And after that, we had to prepare a complete solution. In my case, it was solution related to containers, to Kubernetes, and it should be fully documented solution. Ideally, you should place it in AWS Marketplace. And eventually, it took 1 year of work with big pauses for review from the AWS side, but I received this badge after 1 year after actually starting activities. Ambassador. Currently, there are 292 ambassadors in the world. You cannot apply yourself, so your company, if it's AWS partner, apply for you, explains why they think that you can be nominated as ambassador. And candidate criteria is to have 2 active certifications, professional or specialty level. As I said before, why do we need certifications? And candidate also should provide 8 leadership contributions. It is public contribution, can be blog, article, some webinar, speaker on event. And you must prove that you actually advocating AWS, you're promoting AWS, and help your company as well. But when you receive this title, you should maintain it. You should continue having at least 2 active certifications every year. Provide 4 leadership contribution. It's again some public thing like articles, webinars, and at least 4 business contributions. These are more private internal things related to your company. It's working on AWS competencies, case studies, subject matter expert program, well-architected reviews, etc. From the benefits, what you get for it actually, you get access to the community of ambassadors. You can communicate closer with AWS. You have capabilities to test new services, to attend many NDA presentations from AWS about some new services, some that ambassadors get a free ticket to the reInvent every year. AWS credits, one free exam every year, like any AWS certifications you want. So something like that. Community builder, it looks similar with Ambassador, but it is simpler actually. And as we see, currently there are 2,600 community builders in the world. Everybody can apply. And there are no official criteria what you should do. But in general, you should do some public contributions about AWS. It's again, can be articles, blog, speaking on events, webinars, whatever. And this program accepts a limited number of members once per year. The next round will be in January. So now you can, if you have several public contributions, you can add your name in a wait list. And in January, AWS will send you an apply form where you will explain why you think you are good to be a community builder. And then they will decide and nominate. And benefits, again, you have access to the community of community builders. You also have access to different sessions, testing from AWS. You get discounts to reInvent, credits to AWS, one free exam, swag, different backpacks, mugs, different things. And this is also interesting activity. User group leader. If you want to promote AWS in your city, you can organize user group. If your city currently doesn't have user group, you can apply and become user group leader. You just need to organize one event to be approved for your user group leader. But after that, you must also organize at least one event per quarter. And AWS also helps to organizing, helps with funding, maybe with some speakers. Good thing to try. And the most difficult program, AWS Hero, currently it's 276 heroes in the world. You see there are different categories of heroes, and it's really super difficult to become a hero. I asked current heroes how much time it took to become a hero, and for all of them it took about 4 or 5 years of active contribution, public speaking, and different kind of activities. And here is the list actually what they evaluate: your social media influence, online communities, open source contribution, conference speaking, some writing articles. If you are user group leader, it's also advantage. You can also help with some internal activities from AWS. And the last is like contributing in inclusive, like investing for inclusion, diversity, and equally in tech. And Golden Jacket program, you should have all active AWS certification to become a Golden Jacket. It was quite challenging in the past because like passing all certificates, it was only half of way. Then you had to find a person in AWS who can organize delivery of Golden Jacket, because it is not official program still. But starting from this November, it became much simpler for community builders, heroes, and AWS user group, because AWS leaders from these activities take this, and they really help to get Golden Jacket. And maybe you noticed currently there are many new Golden Jackets. And by the way, in our company, there are 5 or 6 people who can get a Golden Jacket, and I hope we will have these jackets very soon. And we finished with AWS. Let's speak a little bit about Hashicorp.
Yeah, thanks, Oleksii. Now it's my turn to take the time of this conversation. So worth mentioning that, to be honest, my first ever certification that I passed was Terraform Associate, Terraform certified. And a bit about this experience. So first of all, at least for me, because I recently recertified as Terraform professional. So these changes that I wanted to highlight, that they've changed their platform for passing the exam, because earlier it was a PSI, and right now they have some special Certiverse. I've never heard about it, to be honest. So that's why it was a big, let's say, change for me. And with that change, it also applies some changes, some experience about the exam itself, because some of you who are familiar with the PSI platform, so they know that they have a separate browser. This browser locks the whole session for you, so you can't do anything but interacting with this specific browser. But for this new platform called Certiverse, you are just opening your let's say your favorite browser and just start the exam. And it was a bit stressful for me, I'd say, just because when I started the exam itself, browser asked me obviously to share my screen to enable the camera, and I was just thinking that it was for the let's say for the onboarding process, yeah. But it appeared that you need to share your screen during the exam this whole time, and it doesn't block any of your interactions with your laptop, let's say. So mistakenly I opened the calendar, and I was afraid I will be disqualified for that, but it turned out well. So yeah, what I wanted also to mention, that this professional Terraform exam, it appeared in the beginning of September. And yeah, I'm talking a lot about Terraform because, to be honest, I only have Terraform certification of all the Hashicorp certifications, but I hope Oleksii will provide some extra information about some other associate exams. So worth mentioning that, first of all, while using this platform, maybe some of you were familiar with Kubernetes certification. So you have a hands-on exam, and it gives you a virtual machine, and you interact with the system. And it really allows you to use documentation, but it has limits as well. For example, when I tried to open to find the answer for some theoretical question, because there are both theoretical and lab-based questions, So when I try to open some page on the Hashicorp documentation, it didn't allow me to do so. So you have tight limits that what you can open and cannot. So even if you try to open ChatGPT or to Google some answer, it just won't allow you, and you won't be disqualified because, let's say, you did nothing wrong, it didn't open. But don't try to do that, because I cannot guarantee you won't be disqualified about that because of that. So what else worth mentioning? So yeah, about this platform a bit more. Just because I had a certified associate exam, and it was running out of validity, so I had to recertify, and I decided to recertify obviously with the professional one. But I had tight time limits, because you are only allowed to book an exam. Let me remember that word. So you are allowed to book the exam only after I'm sorry. So you have 72 hours before you are able to schedule the exam. So for example, if I want to schedule an exam today, I will be able to pass it only after 3 days, because they have this specific policy of scheduling the exams. And also you can use this English as second language benefit, but you can apply it only when you are already scheduled, when you already scheduled the exam. Because, for example, for AWS, it's just okay to send this request one time, and it will be applied automatically for all the exams. But for this case, as I understand, you should request this extra time every time you want to pass the exam. And a bit about the exam itself. So it has 12 theoretical questions and 4 lab-based questions. And yeah, all of this information that I gonna share with you, it's already available on official Hashicorp site, because this is, to be honest, this is the only place where I prepared for professional exam, just because, as it was mentioned, it's professional. So it's from my experience, it's really for professionals. If you have a lot of experience writing the Terraform code, creating modules, working with the Terraform state, even directly editing Terraform state. I also had such an experience, but not in the exam. But exam will also require this experience from you. And some official recommendations that you should have a Terraform associate exam. And yeah, in this case, professional exam recertifies, let's say, your associate exam. And you should have some Linux skills to work with CLI interface, to list and edit files. You should have experience with different file types like YAML, JSON, CSV, and so on. You should understand some networking stack and protocols, including TCP, IP, and UDP experience. You should have experience using the Terraform AWS provider, because for now, it's the only one which is, let's say, which is not which is allowed, but which is supported for the exam. So if you don't have any AWS experience, it could be tricky for you how it works, because it also requires experience with and understanding of cloud credentials. And for example, for AWS, there were some tricky questions that I never used before, because why? Obviously, advanced configuration authoring, deep understanding of Terraform workflows, and Terraform best practices, like the one, don't use depends on everywhere. Just use implicit dependencies over explicit ones, like referencing some values, let's say, from other resources. What else I wanted to mention? And yeah, in this $295 price, you are able to have just another try. And as I remember, you are able to get it 7 days after the exam, when you get the bad news that you didn't pass. And also, there is no any let's say mark. You are just getting the result, you passed or not. And as I remember briefly, let's say that's it.
Yeah, just a couple of words about other certifications. I have all 3 associate level Hashicorp. All of them are expired already, and I'm not planning to pass them again, at least now. There are partnership with Hashicorp actually. Maybe for such companies, it's important to have certifications, and they even have some separate badges for partners. It's called implementation partner. And there is also Hashicorp ambassador title that looks similar with AWS, where you need to contribute a lot during 1 year, and then they evaluate and maybe nominate you. Regarding Vault and Consul, I learned and passed them, but unfortunately I didn't have them at work at all. Just 0 project with them. But it's interesting to learn, and about learning we will talk on the next slide. We are ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, how to prepare. Actually, why I said it's really interesting to learn. I used courses from Brian Krausen, and I like them a lot. So personally, for me, it's very interesting about everything Hashicorp related. Yeah, Yuri, anything
Yeah,
to add?
I cannot say that my experience will be relevant just because I studied through how it called blood and sweat and tears. But yeah, this is my experience. But just worth adding, I had an experience with Vault, and I liked that idea of ability to be vendor independent. You can create a vault everywhere and store the secrets, and it will work for any cloud provider. And as I remember, Hashicorp also has their own cloud, let's say, no, not cloud, I mean cloud platform, which allows you to have managed solutions like Vault, for example, and you just need to connect with your cloud provider like AWS or Azure, and you will be able to use their platform via peering, let's say, or something.
Yeah, by the way, Hashicorp exams are focused on their enterprise solutions and cloud solutions they provide. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for reminding that I wanted to mention as well. While passing both associate and professional exams, there were theoretical questions about their cloud platform, Terraform Enterprise, their Sentinel policies. There were a few of them, but still they were. And also, I remember there was a second iteration of Terraform Associate, and I've had some funny question about not only Terraform, but let's say there was infrastructure as a code block, and it asked you about some Terraform, how this word is called, I don't remember, some, let's say, opponents of Terraform, like
Competitors.
like Pulumi, like some competitors. Yeah, thanks, Oleksii. So these competitors like Pulumi, like Azure Bicep, as I remember it's called, and some other vendor specific like CloudFormation, of course. And yeah, so even these questions, despite you are working with Terraform, you need to be aware of your enemies, let's say.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting because if we compare it with AWS exams, they will never mention any competitors inside their questions. Just never. It's a policy.
I'd say maybe it's just one more promotion, because for Terraform, you are saying, yeah, there are some competitors and you need to be aware of them. But the main idea that Terraform is much better than any of them. And for AWS, they just don't like that idea. Let's say that black PR, it's still a PR. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, let's talk a little bit
more. Yeah, I'm sorry if I interrupted. I just want to say that it's a little bit more from myself. I was studying ArgoCD as a GitOps tool, and somehow I found that there was such a company called CodeFresh, and their idea was just to take the ArgoCD and, let's say, whole Argo ecosystem, and because it's open source, it allows you to reuse it. And they created their own platform called CodeFresh. But at the same time, despite they're providing some of services of their platform, they are still contributing to open source project. And let's say this is one of the healthy relations. And they decided to create their own courses for GitOps based on ArgoCD. And there were handy lectures and practice exam, which allows you to get the badge and certificate, and it's all in one. So you are paying for fundamentals exam, let's say, and you are getting the access to the labs, because there are also labs, to like a sandbox environment. You are having sandbox environment for all the, let's say, not all the questions, but some, let's say, some topics. And at the end, when you are successfully getting the, I remember it was like 80% or something. So you are getting the certificate. And as I remember, this year, they decided to give credit badges as well. And also these two exams, fundamentals and scale, they were created in 2022. And I was able to get them for free because it was like their pilot project. And this year, and I remember maybe 2 weeks ago, they released GitOps Enterprise, and I already acquired it, but I just need a bit more time to get in touch with it. And also, not so long ago, some other competitors appeared, like Certified Argo Project Associate and GitOps Associate from Linux Foundation. And I also have them in my checklist for the next year to be certified. And yeah, just one more thing worth mentioning, that as I remember, these GitOps from CodeFresh, they are covering only Argo CD and Argo rollouts. And certified Argo Associate from Linux Foundation, it covers the whole ecosystem, because there are also Argo events and Argo workflows. They're equivalent for CI part. And GitOps Associate, it talks about GitOps principle itself. And there are some examples for Argo CD and Flux, as I remember. But the main idea is about the principle itself. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, by the way, question for our audience. What do you think about ArgoCD? Because, for example, for our company, it's kind of standard. We often use it. And as I see, it's quite popular in general. Yeah, so we are going next. Okay, let's talk about Kubernetes.
Yeah, let's dive into Kubernetes certifications. Yeah. Each certification validates different skills, but we all are the same. We all are the same ecosystem. Here's how we stack up. First, CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. This one is very infrastructure-based. If you're aiming for CKA, you will be working on setting up and managing environments at a platform level. Think like networking, updating clusters, scaling workloads, troubleshooting, and configuring Kubernetes itself. It's all about building the foundation, the platform where everything runs. Then the CKAD, Certified Kubernetes Application Developer, is much more developer focused. Instead of platform level tasks, CKAD is all about managing environment at the application level. Yeah, the CKAD certification is primarily focused on writing and troubleshooting YAML manifests. It's about making applications work properly in Kubernetes. Now here's an interesting part. There's overlap between these two. Both certifications involve troubleshooting and resource management, because where you're an admin or a developer, you need to know how to debug and understand Kubernetes environments. The third, Certified Kubernetes Specialist. This certification is all about configuring everything and anything at the security level, whether it's security, the Kubernetes platform, the workloads, or the cluster itself. CKS covers it all. But here's a catch. You need to pass CKA first to even to take the CKS exam. And that's make perfect sense, right? You need to understand something unless you truly understand how it works. One more thing I want to highlight about CKAD and CKS certification. These are hands-on certification, and that's what really sets Kubernetes certifications apart from many others. You're not just sitting there answering multiple choice questions or walking through theoretical scenarios. Instead, you're on terminal running commands in real environment in Linux Foundation, provided by Linux Foundation. It's as close to a real-world scenario as it gets. You will be tasked with configuring, troubleshooting, managing real Kubernetes environments, just like you would in a real job. It's all about showing that you can get it done, and not just the theory. By the way, you have access to the official Kubernetes documentation during the exam, so no Googling or third-party resources are allowed. This means you can look up syntax, concepts, or steps, or write steps from a source. And also, you have 2 attempts to pass each exam. CASINA and CASISA, both of these are entry level certification. CASINA is a prerequisite to CKA, and CASISA is a prerequisite to CKS. They focus more on building you more foundational knowledge, and maybe a good fit if you just starting your career in Kubernetes world. And if you pass all 5 Kubernetes certifications, you will earn the Kubestronaut title. The next slide, how to prepare.
Yeah, one question. What is the exam you like the most?
Personally, I like the most CKA.
My choice is application developer because CKA is more about managing cluster itself, but we in our work we use managed solution, and we don't need it actually.
Yeah, but you still need to understand what's under the hood. Yeah, some like control plane. Yeah, what part I guess is actually managed. Amazon manage for you.
Yeah.
I think the best option to prepare for Kubernetes certification is a cloud platform. Yeah, it offers short, concise videos paired with extensive hands-on labs, yeah, in each course, giving you real experience. I think it's a perfect balance between theory and hands-on experience. Some recommendation and tips about Kubernetes certification. On the next slide. Oleksii, can you switch?
Yeah. By the way, this is also the most favorite my platform because in the past many years ago when I tried to learn Kubernetes, initially I used different platforms, but I didn't understand anything. And when I started using Code Cloud, it became much more clear, and yeah, I understood at least something where to start. Yeah, so
Yeah,
highly recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, Code Cloud is a good choice to start Kubernetes world. Yeah, some tips and recommendations. Don't buy it for full price yet. Wait for discounts. Don't try memorize manifest file. You have access to official Kubernetes documentation. Spend the first 2 minutes of exams setting up a few command aliases. Yeah, for example, like dry run client. Don't spend more than 10 minutes on a single question. Don't stuck in one questions. Yeah, use a Vice Script monitor because exam terminal is so small and it's not fit in your screen fully, especially if you try to run some big output. If your command give you a big output. If you forget the command syntax, use --help flag and get comfortable with exam tools, shortcuts, and interface ahead of the time. And the last one, I forgot to remember, try to learn how to create Vim.
Yeah. And I guess you will get most of this recommendation during the preparation in Code Cloud as well.
Yeah, but some I'm not.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, some shortcuts are already pre-installed in Linux Foundation environment, but some you need to type by own. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cloud Native Computing Foundation contains many different certifications besides Kubernetes, and let's just quickly look at some of them. We have Artem with us who passed FinOps certification. I passed Linux sysadmin, and yeah, let's just talk about them.
Yeah, as you can see, there are several skill credit certifications on the right. There are even more than we have on the slide, but these are the most popular ones of them. They're pretty cheap, only $79 each, but I wouldn't really recommend specifically passing them, at least if you already have some experience, because as you can see by their names, there are pretty narrow topics. Even though they are practical, it wouldn't really help you in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. As for the Linux certifications, they are pretty good, especially the certified sysadmin one, as this is fully practical certification, which gives you the experience of working with users and groups, storage, troubleshooting different errors, and other stuff. So I would definitely recommend it. It's a bit pricey, but as was said before, Linux Foundation usually has promotions each month where you can save 20, 30, even more percents. The biggest savings are, of course, on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So you could wait up until that to buy the exams, because every exam on Linux Foundation has a 1-year period in which you can pass it. So you can buy it, for example, in end of November on Black Friday and pass summer in the winter or spring, for example. For the FinOps certifications, this is a pretty new addition to the CNCF. And they're also pretty pricey. Even the FinOps practitioner costs $300, and as you go up, the price is even higher. They're pretty specific and aren't practical. They are just tests. So at least if you are not a FinOps by profession, I wouldn't also recommend passing them, because it's just a waste of money for the most people. Yeah, and Oleksii
Pass
can
it,
take you more about the Prometheus.
Pass it only if your company require it and cover it, cover price. But sysadmin is a really great exam. I like it. Fully practical. You work in Consul. Cool thing. Istio and Cilium, I don't know. I didn't pass, but I know that these technologies are pretty popular. And if you need and if you want, you can try this certification from Cloud Native. And about Prometheus, pretty controversial opinion, because I really liked course, but I didn't like exam. So it is theoretical exam and costs $250. So I wouldn't recommend pass it, at least for own money. And let's look at how to prepare for majority of those exams. It's still a Code Cloud platform. They are cool guys, have a lot of different courses. When I told about Prometheus, I learned especially this one, Prometheus Certified Associate course in Code Cloud. It's great. I also used this platform to prepare for Linux system admin, and for Python certification as well. So it's like highly recommend to use this platform, as I said before. And a little bit about GitHub. Dmitro.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, GitHub offers some certification. The first one is GitHub Foundations. This is entry level certifications that focuses on basics of working with Git, GitHub, and its ecosystem. I think it's perfect for junior level specialists to looking to boost their resumes. GitHub Actions. This is one all about automating workflows. It covers and customizing your own actions, setting up workflows for CI/CD and automated tasks. I've heard that this certification is considered the most challenging GitHub certification. but for me, it's the one that provide the most value for me. Advanced security. It dives into security practices like using CodeQL, dependent bot, and other tools that are essential for securing any commercial projects. GitHub admin, it's about managing the enterprise version of GitHub, things like setting up permissions and configuring the organizations. GitHub Copilot, it's all about leveraging GitHub Copilot to improve developers' productivity. It focuses on how to use AI features more effectively, how to write more proper prompts, yeah, and how to automate repetitive tasks using this tool. I've personally passed only the GitHub Action certifications, and I highly recommend giving it a try if you focused on GitHub. Interestingly, a third of a question exam were related to GitHub Action Enterprise. So you'll learn about enterprise level features as well. I prepared for this exam using Microsoft Learn platform, which provided good structure and practical learning resources. So if you looking to enhance your GitHub skills and take your automation to the next level, I think those certifications are worth pursuing it. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, by the way, GitHub Actions became standard for our company like a couple of last years. Before that, we had Jenkins for everyone, but we almost forgot about Jenkins nowadays, and GitHub Actions is a new top for CI/CD. Yeah, I don't know, guys, about you, audience. Please share.
Which CI/CD tool you use regularly in your work? GitHub, Jenkins? Share with us in comments.
Yeah, so let's talk about GCP a little bit, but we will not cover as AWS exams. This slide is just for you to see that there are pretty similar approach in Google Cloud to have different certifications for different directions. Yeah, but we will talk about different things.
Yeah, so let me take the mic from here. So essentially, Google Cloud certifications, like certifications from any of major top 3 cloud providers, they're basically the same that you have at AWS, again, at Azure. Is that because, well, you need to have certain, appropriate skills to be called a cloud, data engineer or stuff like that. Still, there is some difference between Google certifications and AWS ones. And the biggest difference will be that, at least for the professional cloud architect, it's the one that I'm holding right now. It's a scenario-based exam. So instead of, just learning the theory about the platform like you would probably do with labs and so on for Amazon, you first would like to read 4 business cases that will be referenced in the exam. So I think I can share the link in the chat with the guide that references them all. Yeah, so when preparing, I think that it's crucial to understand the cases even more than the platform, because certain questions that you will face in the exam, they will highly differ based on the scenario. Again, like choose Google Kubernetes engine or choose Google Compute Engine. Your decision will be affected by the use case, because someone needs scalability, someone requires less cost or compliance and stuff like that. So I think that's the main difference with Google and AWS. Also, there are no prerequisites for any of the exams, so you can go straight ahead and pass SA Professional. But I won't recommend doing it in case you don't have like extensive experience with Google Cloud, because like 3 years ago, I would consider GCP certifications just the easier version of AWS ones. Now I would say that they are way more specific and they require extensive knowledge. So Google Cloud SA Professional would be a little easier than Amazon one, but not too much. So don't be fooled by those people on the internet saying that Google certifications are easy to pass. No, they're not. And there is a special mention here. It's on top of this badges list. It's called Hybrid Multi-Cloud Fellow. Unfortunately, this certification has been discontinued by Google, and they have even deleted almost all the references to it from their website. But essentially, some time ago, it was a thing. Basically, it was an invitation-only program. So to even try passing it, you would have to be referenced by Google employee or by another fellow. And it's not a certification like in Amazon or Azure. It was basically a process when you were given a task to prepare a full architecture vision of a solution based on the business case. And then you would be conducting an interview with 4 to 6 Google engineers for 2 hours. And they would assess your knowledge of business, technical, and leadership domains. And basically that was an interview. And for me specifically, I failed it for the first time, and it took me a year and a half to get prepared and finally pass it. And again, now it's discontinued, and they have moved it to a thing called Champion Innovators Program. Basically, now I think it's way closer to AWS Ambassador. And I guess that's very much it about Google here. So in case we don't have any questions, we can proceed to the next one. Yeah, and so this one was tough. I wouldn't call it a cloud certification per se. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to DevOps engineers and even cloud architects, because this thing is massive and basically it covers way more than cloud. So there is a university called Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, I think. And they have developed a big comprehensive methodology on how to do software architecture. And basically what it means is that they cover the complete architectural lifecycle from your first discussion with the stakeholders, like trying to gather the requirements, to the very end of the architecture, which would be a retiring process. And the course itself, it consists of 3 things that we have stated here. Number 1 and 3 being documented software architectures and software architectures principles and practices. These would be e-learnings. So you just watch videos, go through quizzes, make some homework, and so on. And the SADA, which is software architecture design and analysis, this is going to be a 5 days, 5 hour per day online class where you're divided in groups, and you have to actually practice the things that you learn during the course. So at the end, when you pass the exam, it's just a formality. I'm not sure that even one of maybe 150 people in my cohort didn't pass, because again, this is a very practical, very sophisticated course. And I would definitely recommend it to people holding positions of enterprise architects, software architects, application architects. Not so much, again, considering the cloud, because the SASAP methodology is just too wide for the cloud. And I need to mention that it's very expensive. It's going to take you around $3,500, I think, to get this certification. But it's definitely worth looking into. And in case you'd like to, extend your overall architecture knowledge and not pay this amount of money, there is an awesome book which is basically called Software Architecture Principles and Practices. Now I think the most recent is 4th edition, and it costs around maybe $60 on Amazon. I strongly recommend any architect going through it because it simplifies a lot of day-to-day operations of any architect, like gathering requirements from your stakeholders, prioritizing those requirements, performing architecture design based on the things that you have gathered, and so on. So it's a very comprehensive methodology, and I definitely do recommend it. But again, it's pricey. Thanks, Oleksii. I believe that's it from my side.
Yeah. So we have Q&A right now. Maybe we don't have a lot of time, but as I see, a lot of answers were provided in text. Just to mention that we are hiring. You can visit our website and see relevant positions in different locations in the world. And we will have gifts for the most active participants, for the best questions. We will provide AWS credits for you just to be able to play with AWS more, and a couple of vouchers for AWS exam if anybody needed. Again, by the way, guys, maybe do you remember any specific interesting question that were answered in text, but we could just read it and discuss more?
Yeah, Oleksii, so I have a question regarding SASAP. So yeah, it's highly practical one. Again, just as I said, you have 2 e-learnings where you actually, get the theoretical material. And then you have 5 days, 5 hours per day, working in a group, working on actual project to utilize your skills. So your mentor, he works as a, customer stakeholder, and your group works as a group of architects divided by the position. So one is the facilitator, one is they call it scribe, the one who makes notes. And then you all together, it's a group of 4 to 6 people, you build the actual architecture, and you have to work like one day is one phase. So one day is called attribute workshop where you gather the information. Next one is ADD, which is attribute driven design phase. And then you have to demonstrate how this architecture would be evolved, how it covers new requirements, and so on. So you cannot pass the exam until you're done your actual practical exercises.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just reading questions you answered. You guys, feel free to ask many questions if you have. Okay.
Oleksii, what motivated us about talking about certifications? Yeah, I think that there's, sorry, bro, let me try to do that first. So I think that there is a lot of misconceptions around IT certifications, and basically some people look at certifications at like something that is either not needed or something that is very hard to achieve, or they just generally don't understand the value. And for us as people who often hire other people, it's it's a good thing to have a common ground when we start talking. And so when I have to interview a person and this person is AWS solutions architect and it's proven by Amazon, it's way easier for me to have a common terminology, to just understand each other better. And also it's a challenging thing. It's a very fun thing to get those certifications. It's a nice achievement, a little dose of dopamine each time.
But I'd say it's a double-edged sword, because even if you are solution architect associate, or let's say professional, you can just learn it by heart, let's say, because AWS, it's about exams and about preparation mostly. There is no let's say these case-based questions, they are gaining popularity right now, but most of the exams previously, they have, let's say, common questions and answers. So it's still possible to just learn them by heart. So you can also prove that this certification, if it's real or if it's not. So you can find the imposter, let's say.
Okay, one more question. Is there any trade-off in owning too many certification?
Yes, you have to renew them, and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I renew only AWS exams because they are required for our partnership. But instead of renewing others like Hashicorp or Kubernetes, I would rather learn something new, I guess.
Regarding the soft skills, well, the last certification that we have mentioned here, this SACE-UP, you can call that soft skills because it doesn't focus on technical knowledge of certain technology, but rather, being able to communicate with people and being able to drive the whole architecture process. So basically, I would say that you could just download the book, go through it, and your soft skills as an architect would be much, much better.
Yeah, so seems we answered everything. And we can finish here. Thank you all for participating. We will publish recording on YouTube. And yeah, we will process all activity, all chat messages, questions, and announce who won some AWS credits. And I guess they will be helpful for you for your learning journey. Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah, Happy New Year and Christmas in coming our holidays. Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.